It is Monday, January 31st, 2022. I am James. You are you. We are here. Where are we? Live on twitch.tv/@home with James. What are we doing? Of course, it is At Home with James, the show that happens every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or alternatively, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Do you notice something different? Well, you should. Not only am I sporting a rarely seen flannel shirt, but I'm also flexing profusely. And why is that? I'm going to tell you why. Prior to getting on air, two of our guests tonight, I'm not going to say who, I'm not going to name any names, but one of them suggested to the other that they double team Joe Rogan from the Joe Rogan Experience podcast. And there's a lot of controversy. So we call him Mr. Rogan on this show. A lot of controversy surrounding Mr. Rogan. So I thought to myself, well, what does Joe Rogan have that I don't? Well, he's bald. I don't have that. I have hair. Well, he's got a huge following. I definitely don't have that. He's got a lot of machismo. I don't have that. And he is exploding with muscles. Now, I know that for some of you, you might be saying, well, hold on. You're probably hiding some muscles underneath those shirts, James. You'd be wrong if you think that. And that led me to think, well, what if I was hiding muscles under here? Would they explode out of my flannel shirt? And absolutely not. This shirt is stopping my arms from doing what happens in cartoons. If I took this shirt off, this would happen as I flex. It would loop down and then back up like a Bugs Bunny cartoon. I'm made of spaghetti. That's what I look like. If you were to boil spaghetti noodles, that's what my arms look and feel like. I have the consistency of a spaghetti. I am a spaghetti man. What is happening on tonight's show, hosted by the one and only Spaghetti Man? This is a jam-packed program. Last Monday, one of the best episodes, as far as I'm concerned, of all time. Now, do I remember a lot of the episodes? No, I have literally never gone back and watched one episode of this GD program. But who was here on that fateful night, the infamous night? Well, Racquel Belmonte was there. And I thought it was so nice that we have to do it twice. Racquel is going to be here. Who else is going to be here? For the first time in a long time, it is Randy McWayne. Now, if you're sitting there watching from your bed, your couch, your bathtub, your toilet, I don't care where you're watching from, you might be asking, well, who's Randy McWayne? Who's this McWayne? I don't remember no Randy McWayne. Is that a country singer? Nope. I'll tell you who Mr. Randy McWayne is. He is an ice road trucker. Now, when I say the word trucker, what do you think of these days? Well, if you're thinking what I think you're thinking, you would be correct. Randy McWayne, the ice road trucker, is back from a trip to Canada's capital. He is back from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, where he witnessed the convoy. I don't want to say too much because this is Randy McWayne's story to tell and not mine. That's much later on. Who's going to kick off tonight's program? If you had a Mount Rushmore of guests on this show, this person's face would be etched in stone. You can hear this person every single morning on CJAD 800's Andrew Carter Morning Show, or alternatively upstage on CKUT on Thursdays at 6 p.m. What a lead-in. What a flippin' lead-in. So I'm not going to waste any time with a further lead-in. Let's welcome our first guest tonight. It's the one, it's the only, it's Sarah Deshaies. Sarah, welcome back to the program. You got a brand new mic. It looks so much better than mine.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad that I got to show it off on the show today.
Well, okay. Look, if you're going to show yours off, maybe I show mine off a little bit here. Now, I've got the Yeti. That's what mine looks like.
Very nice.
So it looked like if I was doing the show the way you are, but you've got yours placed really nicely. This is a mess over here, but I'd like to think that we both sound sweet and savory.
I think.
Right?
Yeah, you always sound so
Sarah,
good.
have you ever been described as sweet and savory? Because I can tell you, I haven't.
I've never been described that way, but I have to say I'm laughing so hard because you mentioned Upstage, the show I do, talking about theater. This is how we kind of got to know each other. We talked about theater and artistic going on over at CKUT. So I haven't done the show for its entire length. It's been around for forever. And the woman who originally worked on it was named Estelle Rosen. She's wonderful, in her 70s, just celebrated her birthday. And I tried to drop off a birthday present for her every year. And this year, a very quick one of late, because she is mostly staying at home nowadays and we're very cautious. So I brought her a bouquet today, 1 week belated for her. And I also went to Molina's in the Mile End to get her some Greek pastry. And I specifically bought bugatsa, which is the kind of vanilla sweet pastry. And I was like, but I have to do the savory. So I was like, give me some spanakopita. And I gave it to her, and it's a bag and it's got grease stains on it. And I was like, sweet and savory Greek pastry. And she was like, oh, thank you.
Okay,
and
so
she
a sweet and savory person gave some sweet and savory Greek treats.
She specifically wrote me back like 30 minutes later by email and said, thank you for the flowers and the sweet and the savory. So the fact that you brought that up today just like tickles me. Like, I think that's so funny.
So this is cosmic. This is a cosmic compliment that I've given you. Now, Sarah,
in 2022, I am looking for coincidences. I'm looking for meanings. I've actually started tracking all the coincidences that I've spotted in my life. And I know that sounds neurotic and maybe a little overboard, but it's brought me great joy.
Okay, so this is part of the ever-growing list. Now, you said you're trying to compile every coincidence throughout your life ever?
Well, I just started it this month. January. And so far we've got a couple written down. So I don't think I'm going to keep doing it, but I treasure a coincidence, that you think about somebody and then you see them the next day. Like I think that's just magic, and maybe it doesn't mean anything, but maybe that's not the point, that there's no meaning.
Now, I want to backtrack to something you mentioned earlier on, Sarah, that we came into contact by way of your show Upstage on CKUT. This was 2006. This is a memory that is burned in my brain. I don't think I've ever expressed this story to you, so I'm going to do it right now. I was on my way to Quebec City to facilitate a corporate team building event, and this is when I was just about to do a run of a show called Le Merveilleux and Marvelous World de Bonhomme Caramel. So this is part of the solo shows, which is a bygone festival that no longer exists in Montreal. I was like, I got to promote this dang old thing. And then I came to understand your show Upstage. I emailed you. You agreed to let me on your show. And I remember I was in the car on the way to Quebec City with someone. I was listening to the show and I started to get nervous. I was like, I don't think my energy is for this show. I feel like as soon as I get on the air, people are not going to like me. Because I remember thinking the show was very, very soft spoken. It felt very serious. And I thought, I'm going to come on the show talking about playing with puppets and doing my little French accent. And then I remember when our conversation ended, I was said to the person I was in the car with, I was like, I don't think that host liked me too much.
Oh no.
Now here we are all these years later, both sweet and savory.
And I still don't like you.
Well, full circle. It's absolutely, but this speaks to the level of your character and your commitment to work in local media, if we want to call this itsy bitsy program that you could dislike me so strongly, but still appear on the show.
No,
Again, it speaks to the level of your character.
I like you a tremendous lot.
Oh, that's very nice to say.
Yeah. I think you're a good guy.
Well, I think you're also a great girl.
No matter what they say.
Well, people are saying things. All right. Well, look, let's get into it. You talked about something that you began in the month of January. You're tracking your coincidences, and that is coincidentally what today's episode is all about. We're 1 month in to 2022, and it's all about what have you done? What do you want to do with the remainder of the year? So it's not necessarily a hopes and dreams, but we're basically recapping. How do we feel that we've begun the year? Now, a lot of people feel they got the winter blues in January. I think it's probably been a little bit, how can I put this, inflated at the moment due to the extreme cold conditions and old man COVID that's still hanging around and pulling us down with his grimy grip into the depths of despair and depression. So how's January been for you thus far?
That's overall.
Yeah.
look, there's a lot of really tough things going on in the world,
Mhm.
and you can't control or respond to all of it. And I think January is a good example of when you can look inward and think about, like, what can I change for myself? It's
Mhm.
like a fresh start. A lot of people have resolutions. And I think that's what the message is for the start of the year is like, even if you don't like what's going on in the world, can you do small things to maybe help make someone feel better or make a donation and like try to improve the situation around you, more systemic things. But, you can also change things for yourself and think like, well, if I don't like the way I look, can I try to fit more working out into my schedule?
Mhm.
And like, do I smoke too much and then eat too much junk food? Like, well, maybe you should be more mindful when you snack. I don't know. Like what can you do to
Hold
like,
on here. This almost sounds like it could be part of an internal monologue. Are you trying to tell us something without telling
no,
us, Sarah?
no,
Are you saying that you
no.
smoke too much and then snack too much?
um Once a week. I have like I do that once or twice a week. I don't know, like that was just a random thing that I pulled out. It happens to be true, but I think a lot of people can relate to
Okay, but
that.
now what do you Are you smoking cigarettes, stogies?
Yeah, Winston Churchill sized cigars.
Oh, see, now that's exactly what I was going to guess. When I saw again when we
Yeah.
were on the radio all those years ago, I remember getting on the phone thinking, well, I don't think that person liked me too much. But then I thought, but they sound like they like a nice Winston Churchill sized stogie.
I actually, when you go to Cuba, you smoke cigars, right? I had so much fun smoking cigars in Cuba. That was like a highlight for
How
me.
long ago was this?
You know what? It was in 2014, I believe. It was
Mhm.
yeah, it was a very special trip. I took with my mom, and we'd
Mhm.
never been to an all inclusive, so that
Now,
was
was
like our
she
summer
smoking
vacation.
cigars too? Were you and your mom smoking cigars together?
We were smoking, yeah, and
Now,
drinking
that's an
the whole
that's an
time.
to me, that is someone who has never indulged in any substance of any kind. Not to say that really a cigar is much of a substance. That to me sounds something out of character to see a mom and a daughter smoking cigar. That's like something out of a Judd Apatow movie from 15 years ago,
Yeah, it really,
right?
it really is. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, you got any trips on the horizon? Are you thinking like when this winter I've had enough and I'm going to get on a plane and go somewheres? Maybe smoke
Uh,
a cigar with your mom?
Currently researching trips to Winnipeg.
I'll tell
Very
you what, I was
exciting.
not expecting that to be the answer.
I have a lot of cousins there,
Mhm.
and we were supposed to go in December for a wedding. That got postponed, and now another cousin is planning to get married in the March. So I'd
Mhm.
love to go because it would just be to go somewhere. I've barely left this island. Like in 2 years, I've been to the
Mhm.
townships once or a couple handful of times, and then we went camping for a weekend across the
Yeah.
border in Ontario, and that's it. But 2020 was really tough for me in the sense of I had plans to go to Paris in April for a wedding, Costa Rica for a wedding,
Mhm.
in later in the year, and somewhere else, I think. And all of that got put
Just
on
think
ice.
about this though. You went this all weddings. You went from Paris, like, well, I guess it'll be Costa Rica, and it's like, I guess Winnipeg.
Yes. Yes,
That's
exactly.
quite a drop from Paris to Costa Rica to Winnipeg.
It's so true.
I'm not convinced that you won't have one more fall and it'll be Boucherville,
Yeah.
Saint Eustache. You're gonna end up at a wedding in Saint Eustache.
Or like at a bar in Brossard.
Oh no.
So that's my big plan is to go to Winnipeg. I haven't
Yeah.
seen my cousins in a long time, and my
Mhm.
my grandmother unfortunately passed away shortly before the pandemic. And
Mhm.
it was nice that we were actually able to go there for the funeral, but the stone has been unveiled.
Okay.
That in Jewish tradition that happens after like a year or so after someone's been
Mhm.
buried. So I'd like to go to the cemetery and I'd like to go to a wedding. But it's so hard, to decide whether you're going to go or not because each province has its own rules about whether weddings are allowed or not, and
Mhm.
I'm not clear what's going to happen just yet. So
Well, yeah, that's a thing. And look, as someone who works in local news media, you're probably privy to all of the changes as they happen when it's breaking news, or maybe you even get a little bit of an insight prior. You got the spoilers before they happen to be announced to the rest of us.
that's a good question. I'm not really susceptible to any leaks. Like I'm not getting any information in advance from the provincial government. But what tends to happen is that when they are going to make a major announcement of some sort, they can float a test balloon. I'm not sure if I feel like I might have explained this at one point on the show, but
I've heard of these. Yeah.
yeah. Yes. So they'll strategize and leak to an outlet in advance. It could be most likely here to La Presse or the Journal de Montréal. And that will be the first thing they're running with in the morning.
Mhm.
And you can kind of gauge reaction over the course of the day from talking heads on the radio, on TV, columnists, what are people saying on social media?
Mhm.
And then you can kind of have a sense of like, does the public hate this or love it, or is it kind of meh? And then you'll have an announcement following up shortly after that. But
Yeah.
which is what made the no vax tax or the
Mhm.
vaccine poll earlier this month so unusual, because we didn't really have a sense he was going to say that. The
Mhm.
health director resigned, offered to tender his resignation. It was accepted. And then the next day, Francois Legault was just like, I think we're going to tax people who
Mhm.
are unvaccinated.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to enjoy when it's like unpredictable like that.
Can I ask you now, again, this is kind of on the beaten trail, but off the beaten trail at the same time. Now, there's a new interim health minister. It's Dr. Luc Boileau. He replaced Dr. We call him Mr. Horatio Arruda around these parts. Who is your favorite between the two if you had to pick? If this was like a Quebec political system fantasy draft and you have the first pick and you're like, I can go Arruda or I can go Boileau.
It's so hard to say because in terms of personality, I think Dr. Arruda had it, but I know
Yeah.
he had lost the confidence of a lot of
Yeah.
average.
Yeah. The
person.
days of him dancing and doing, remember that one? Remember when he was doing that, slapping his hand,
Yeah.
talking about the peak,
Giving
talking about how he can be
nata
a very
recipes.
bad boy. Remember that when he said, I can be a very, very bad boy. You know what it is? He lost his smile.
Haven't we all?
Yeah, it's tough, right? It's tough to hang in there and keep your smile. So what I want to do is ask you on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 of course being the best, 1 of course being the worst, how would you rank your January as we have burst into 2022 thus far? 1 through 10.
I mean, I've cried a bit.
Mm-hmm. What's
Quite
a bit?
lot.
What's a bit? 31 days. How many days would you estimate that you've cried in January?
At least 5, I think.
Okay. So about once a week, about once a week.
Yeah. Or like weeks where you do it 2 or 3 times. But you know, I contracted COVID-19 right before Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that I'm healthy.
Again, one of the rare guests on this show who has had old man COVID. So you are joining an illustrious group of people, most notably Racquel Belmonte, who's one of the first COVID infected guests on this show.
I'm late to the party. Raquel is the one who started the trend.
She was infected pre-vaccination campaign. This is a 2020 COVID kid.
Yeah. Yeah. The OG.
Yeah.
In other words.
I'm
late to the game. I'm late to the game. I hope the club stays small and exclusive.
Look, as do I. Okay. So you're crying in January, five times or so.
Yeah.
How would you rank it?
I'm going to give it an 8 because I cried a couple of times. I'm trying to move my body more. I'm working from home, which I'd never done before in my life. So I'm home all the time. That's
are you wearing jogging pants a lot?
Yeah. Yeah. Like I forced myself to wear jeans this weekend, just to like change it up a bit. And it was wild. I stripped them off the moment I came home. But I am like waking up, doing some stretches, meditating. I change my underwear. I change my socks. I put on perfume. I don't go so far.
Wait, hold on. You're telling me there's people that haven't been changing their underwear?
I mean, that's not what I've ever done, but I guess I just felt like it was significant to mention that.
Yeah, I guess if you're out there and you're not changing your underwear, please, or maybe this is what if you're watching the show right now in our chat, I want you to admit if you go a couple days, no change of undies. Okay, so you're putting new socks on, you're putting new underpants on, you're meditating, you're stretching. But I want to say this, as one of the busiest people I know, you've launched a new project.
I have.
And there's one thing I don't do on this show, it's promote people's things unless it's got the seal of approval. And I'll tell you what, Sarah, your new project has got the seal of approval.
Thank you. That means a lot to me. That means a lot to me. Thank you. Yes, I have been working on a podcast series with the support of the Museum of Jewish Montreal. They do really excellent work. You may remember that they had a physical space at the corner of Duluth and Saint Laurent, the northwest corner. So kitty corner to Dispatch Coffee.
Mhm.
And they're going to be opening up a new space above, below Marianne, above Rachel, shortly.
Mhm.
Hopefully this year, I think. And they do they've been doing micro grants. So tiny amount of cash to local artists who have some connection to being Jewish. And people have put together all kinds of cool projects like cooking classes and music. And I've got a great book that is all Jewish themed tattoos by an
Mhm.
artist based in Toronto. So I applied and they said, sure, we'll give you the seed money and you can get started. And so my podcast is called Christmas Party, and it is about being interfaith, either raised in an interfaith family or making one of your own. So
Yeah. Now that's not uncommon to this show. One of the head honchos around these parts, Dave Kaufman, interfaith.
All the cool people are.
I'm
what I'm finding
Sarah,
out.
but between you and me, can I tell you something about this Dave Kaufman guy?
Yes.
This guy barely does anything Jewish. Never.
Well, that's disappointing.
I think he likes to talk the talk, but he doesn't walk the walk.
Disappointing.
So I'm going to say this right now. Don't have him on your show.
Okay.
This guy won't have anything to contribute. He's going to stumble his way through. I probably know more about Judaism than he does. Well, I'm getting a production note from our production assistant, Devin, who is claiming that Dave claims to have had a bar mitzvah. But, look, that's what he claims. In any event, so Sarah, you're one episode deeper. Am I incorrect in that you had the podcast launch last week?
Yes, I launched the podcast last week as part of the programming stipulated that I had to do an event. And it was so funny in November when I chose this date and said, you know what, let's save the budget money for the actual project and we'll just do it on Zoom. Because we don't know if things could just change at the drop of a hat. And sure enough, Omicron rolled in and the launch happened last Wednesday. Sorry I couldn't join you that day. And
well, that's okay. Look, you're here now and that's all that counts. Sweet and savory, Sarah Deshaies.
And so it ended up being online, which was just the perfect situation because gathering is still very limited. We don't have our arts venues opening up until this coming Monday. So we had a conversation about interfaith I'm focused mostly on the December dilemma, which is blending Christmas and Hanukkah. And I'm hoping to come up with more episodes.
I'm going to tell you who it's not a dilemma for is this guy, Dave Kaufman. He just does Christmas. No. He just does Christmas. Now, Sarah, what's the frequency of the episodes? Are you doing once a week? Or are you doing a season?
A friend of mine asked that today and I was like, get off my case. Like somebody I went to journalism school with. So I've put all my eggs in one basket. Was that the right expression?
Yeah.
I focused on doing this one episode because it went quite in depth. I spoke with 7 people. Each interview on average was about 45 minutes in length. And it does focus mainly on this month. It's really hard because Hanukkah and Christmas there's a long history of both fearing Christmas, but also embracing Christmas. I'm going
to tell you who doesn't fear Christmas.
You.
In fact, I thought you thought I liked Christmas. This Dave Kaufman guy loves it. I'll tell you what he should embrace is Hanukkah. Now, Sarah, are people going to be able to find podcasts where they find their podcasts? That old radio interview thing?
Yeah, so I'll tell you what's out right now. So I'm using a service called Podbean. So if you put in my name, sarahdae.podbean.com, you can see the trailer or the sizzle reel, which is like a 3-minute teaser for the episode itself. And it kind of tells you where I'm coming from and you'll hear the voices of the women I speak to on the episode. And I'm hoping to have the episode out. I feel like I'm so tardy on this, but it's going to be out in the next couple of days. And hopefully it's going to be accepted and posted on. Did you know you have to apply? It doesn't just magically turn up on the internet. You have to apply to different podcasting sites to be available. So fingers crossed that works out. And I'm trying to think of where you could get updates about that.
Well, how about this? How about we talk about some of your social media channels? Because I'm sure if you're posting about it, people are going to know that they can do a little click from there to somewhere else. So where can people find you?
I'm on Twitter at Sarah Dae, SarahDeshaies. You could add me on Facebook too if you want. I'll be posting about that there. And right now the podcast lives online. Its home is my full name .podbean.com. And the show itself is called Christmas Party. So if you look that up on a podcast server like the Apple's like iTunes, for example, you'll get a lot of OC recap shows. That is Chrismica, a reference to the OC, but the OC didn't come up with Chrismica.
Yeah.
So hopefully,
Yeah, that show's terrible.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Hopefully, but we were obsessed with it. Were we not? Were you not obsessed with?
No, I didn't. I didn't watch any of those OCs, the One Tree Hill. I didn't watch any of that stuff.
You didn't even watch Dawson's Creek?
Absolutely. I think, well, Dawson's Creek, I think it really predates the One Tree Hill and OCs of this world.
Can I tell you a secret?
Yep.
A girlfriend of mine is expecting, and I found out recently that she and her sisters are all naming their children after characters from One Tree Hill. And I think that is an incredible dedication to a TV show.
That might be the worst story I've ever heard in my life because it's so sad to me.
No, it's not. It's
like the quality of the story is good, but then now One Tree Hill, is that the show? Did they use that Gavin DeGraw song as the intro?
Yes.
Yeah, it was an angsty song. Do you remember that song? I don't want to be anything other than what I've been trying to be lately.
Idea. I just had a brainwave. I think
it seems like a wiener.
You should put out a cover album of you covering songs, the opening tracks for a variety of teen sitcoms.
Now, what was the OC? What was the California? Here we come. Yeah, Sarah, that's $1 million idea from $1 million person. How about that?
Yes. I'm so excited. I can't
wait.
My
last question is, what can we do to get one of these sisters on the show?
I'll ask around.
Imagine the husbands just sitting around with each other, just being like, wait, you had to name one of yours after the show too? Or do the husbands like the show too?
Well, that's a good question. I would imagine they are also fans.
Look, this we have to table this for another episode because we might have the first ever round table. Sarah, thanks so much for being here. You have to go to bed.
Yes, I have to go to bed. The alarm clock is still ticking. Yep.
And the first alarm goes off at what time?
3:25.
3:25 a.m. This is why you're on the Mount Rushmore of the at-home guests. Sarah, thanks so much for being here. Good luck with the podcast. We're going to post about that tomorrow on our Itsy Bitsy Instagram page.
Thank you so much for sharing. I so appreciate it. And thanks for having me.
Pleasure's mine. Have a good rest of your night, as short as it may be.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. That's Sarah Deshaies, a legend, an icon, a visionary of Montreal media. Now, I would say, again, I talked about this off the top of the show. Last Monday was a great episode. And it's early, but dare I say, this Monday already off to an incredible start. Again, we're talking about how we are 1 month in to the year with 11 more. January is out of the way. The first month is over. We're 1 month over the line. Now, that was a little joke that happened before. I'm not going to take credit for the joke. Someone said 1 month over the line, like that Brewer and Shipley song, one toke over the line, whether you're toking a stogie, a joint, a cigarette. We are 1 month over the line, sweet Jesus, 1 month over the line, sitting downtown in a railway station, 1 month over the... See, now no one sang it. I did the song. Let's welcome our next guest. She was here last Monday. I said it off the top. I was so nice. We got to do it twice. Please welcome to the show, battered and bruised, Racquel Belmonte. Racquel, welcome back. 2 Mondays in a row. You're flexing too, like Mr. Rogan.
And I'm dabbing. Yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. We should, James, can we do a segment one day where we just dab and see like who can go the longest? I think you could.
It won't be me. Have you seen these arms? These don't have any strength to maintain. Look at these. It's so long.
It kills me that you don't see the potential your arms have to dab. Why are you so mean to yourself?
Look, what you say mean, I say realistic. You want to talk about mean. I saw something in the chat earlier. When I was talking with Sarah, when that shocking topic of changing your underwear or not changing it came up, coming in from the chat, we had, quote, Don't act like you do, James, claiming that I don't change my. That's the type of way the people who watch this show think about me, is that I don't change my underwear.
James, you need to step it up. You need to tell them, F you, I don't wear underwear. Joke's on you, a-holes.
Hold on, let's go back to that. How'd you start that? F you?
Oh no, F you. I don't wear any underwear, a-holes.
Wait, you say that I got to tell them I go commando? I go boxer?
Yeah, man. Then you could be, I'm not ashamed of my dick hitting my leg. I don't know what it's like for a guy to go commando.
Racquel, here's the thing. You got to have a pretty big unit. And I'm not talking about Randy Johnson, the original big unit, to have it hit your leg.
Okay.
You got to have a bit that's like where one of your pant legs is for your leg and your unit.
Okay, hold on. Now I have a follow-up question. There's another part of male anatomy, and I won't say it. I'm doing the shape of it.
Racquel,
wouldn't that kind of like
since when do you censor yourself on this show? Last week you wanted to show your backside, and today you won't even say testicles.
Because James, I've changed. This is a month in review. I've had a lot to review. I reviewed the tapes from last Monday.
Yep.
And I didn't like what I saw.
Well, tell me about it. What didn't you like?
Basically, you had a Tasmanian devil on your show begging, nay, screaming, and almost pulled her pants off. She wanted to show her butt.
Yeah.
And
now I'm fascinated. You said instead of pull your pants down, you said pull them off.
Yeah,
which sounds more vigorous to me.
I'm strong, James. You saw my guns when I first came on. You saw them.
You got some Rogan guns there.
I got some Rogan gun. And hey, listen, I heard you call us out earlier, but
I didn't call you out. I think you've just outed yourself.
I outed myself. Yes, I said, but I'd like to provide some context. I think it would be really fun and really cool to like ruin Joe Rogan's life. And I think if anyone knows how to do that to someone or has the capacity to, it's this guy. I could ruin him. I think I could ruin him.
I want to talk about this plan.
Yeah.
Your plan is to ruin him by having sexual intercourse with him and another person.
Yeah, because we're going to make him feel so inferior. And so I bet he's no. We're going to make him feel.
I'll tell you what, I bet his unit hits his leg.
I don't think so. I bet his unit. No, I don't think that. The other guy, who's the other guy we were talking about?
Jordan Peterson.
I bet his hits his knee. Yeah, I saw pics.
Now he's a pretty tall guy.
Yeah,
now, you're saying that his unit extends from his pelvic area to his knee?
Look,
Racquel, that's a really big unit.
I don't make the rules. I'm not the doctor who said the taller you are, the bigger the unit. I didn't say that.
Now you have some agreement coming in from the chat, courtesy of Brazen Raisin, quote, I bet Joe Rogan's got a teeny weeny peeny.
Yes, he does. You can tell it in his voice.
Now, coming in from Thomas Barnwell, he counters with, Jordan Peterson has very short thighs, though.
Exactly. That's why his unit hits his knee.
Okay.
Please. No, you can have short thighs, but is he all calf?
No, I just want to say
is he all calf? That's scary.
You said moments ago, you watched last Monday.
Yes.
It was like a Tasmanian devil. And now moments after that, you're talking about unit size.
Yeah, but I'm calling it unit. I'm not calling it what I would usually call it.
Well, I think I called it a unit.
Oh, well, I agreed. I'm saying it too. I'm not saying, something sloppy and disgusting. I'm keeping it G tonight, baby.
I don't know. I would say in fairness to you, we're talking about genitals. I wouldn't say that's G, but we're at least PG. We're doing it with some fun, what some have called church swears on the show.
I love that. Yeah, we're throwing around some church swears. But I have no intention of showing anyone my butt today. I have no intention. Although I have
no intention of showing anyone my butt for the rest of the year.
But I'm not surprised. I'm not. You're very. No, I don't mean it. You. Hey, hold on now.
Okay.
I've been telling you to show your butt for years. Years I've been saying this. Yes, years I've been saying this. But you're always like, no, I want to cover up. No, I don't like this.
Hold on, I want to talk about the way
like
that you just mind pulling. What am I pulling my pants up to my chest here?
Yeah, you're lucky I didn't go over.
Oh God, I'm giving myself a reverse atomic wedgie.
Yeah, but you like it, like it's cool for you in this world. Okay. But you won't show your butt. You're a good person. You're a classy person. I know you don't like that word to describe you.
Yeah, I would say that people wouldn't call me classy, but I would say that I at least behave as a class act.
Okay, yes, you behave. That is the thing. Me, oh my God. If I didn't have the show last week to watch, I'd be showing my ass to everybody. You know how many ass pics I took last week?
Well, like if you okay, so I asked Sarah earlier how many times she cried in the month of January. She gave an average of 5. How many pictures of your backside do you think you've taken in the month of January? Accumulatively, not just because of the bruise. You got to come clean here. How many derriere pictures, if you had to guess? I
would say 10 and up. 10
okay,
and up.
so
but I don't send them to anybody. Well, no, that's not true.
I never asked that. So basically you've taken over the course of 31 days, 1/3 of the month features a butt photo.
Yes. A lot of it was documenting my butt trauma. As you know, from last week, I fell down a flight of stairs.
Yeah.
So documenting the bruise, sending it to my family group chat, and they didn't like it at all.
Yeah. Okay. So in your family, you've got a mommy, a daddy, and 2 brothers.
And brothers. I didn't care for any of that.
Look, Racquel, we're moving past PG here. We're moving past PG to X-rated, right? And look, frankly, I started it. I didn't have to say mommy and daddy. I just thought it sounded humorous. And then you went with brothers.
Bravos. I didn't say the TH because I'm a little baby.
Now, what about this for an episode, Racquel?
Let's hear it.
Everyone talks in a baby voice for the whole episode.
That's my dream. I've been pitching this for years.
Dream?
Yes, we all talk in baby voices. Okay, please book me for that show. In fact, I'd love to curate
my intro, my little thing. If I were to say, I am James, you, we, he, for, disgusting. Yeah. Anyways, so you sent the picture of your backside to your mommy, daddy, and your 2 brothers.
Yeah.
Did you give them kind of a warning, like, guys, I'm going to send you a picture of my rear end, or did it just appear in the group chat?
No, it just appeared in the group chat. If I have to listen to them in there and what they talk about in the group chat, well, I'm going to bombard them with things I want to talk about. The only person, sorry, I'll let you go.
No, I was going to say that it seems like if my sister sent me a picture of her bruised backside, I don't think I'd be a fan of it.
Right.
I know I wouldn't.
Right, for sure. And my brothers were very against it. In fact, they said, ew, this is fucking disgusting. Why would you send this to our group chat? My parents, however, my mom was so like, oh no, I'm so sorry. What happened? Yeah. Then my dad phoned me. He's like, how did you fall? Where did you fall? Like, was very.
It sounds like he was about to take out revenge on the situation.
My dad is very much like that. He is. I
want to bring something up that you talked about last. I've been thinking about this a couple times throughout the week.
Okay.
Now, last week I brought up the Papa Roach song "Last Resort."
Cut my life in 2 pieces. This is my last resort.
Now, you claimed that you one time saw your dad watching that music video
more than once.
Okay, so multiple times he was watching the Papa Roach video for "Last Resort" on his phone, and like most parents do, probably not like this, probably like this.
Yeah, I'm gonna do an impression.
Yeah.
So my dad wears reading glasses now, but he wears them at the bottom of his nose.
Yeah.
And he sits on his like lazy boy. So pretend actually no. Oh fuck! Sorry, I can't move my legs barely. Like this. With his headphones.
So you caught your dad multiple times doing that, watching the Papa Roach video for "Last Resort."
And then every like few minutes, and he did it during "Last Resort," he'll look over at us because we're just kind of like, what do you do? Because you can hear the music through his headphones.
Yeah. Now were you just sitting there one day and faintly heard the sounds of Papa Roach? You're like, what's happening? Am I having a seizure?
Yeah, I was like, what's he listening to? My mom's like, oh, he listens to this shit every night, like getting upset because we're trying to watch a movie as a family.
Wait, so you as a family watch a movie and your dad checks out to watch Papa Roach music videos?
Yeah, he doesn't like anything. My dad doesn't like anything except for the things he likes, like Papa
This
Roach.
sounds like my kind of guy. He's my kind of guy.
You know what? You and my dad would get along until he started talking about aliens. And that, unless you're an alien guy.
I know. I would happily enjoy that conversation.
You know what?
Coming in from the chat, Racquel, we've got quote, Racquel, would your dad ever come on this show?
I was just thinking in my head, my dad loves attention more than I do, if you could believe it. I think he would come on the show because he thinks he's the funniest man in the world.
Because I've been tinkering with maybe if this show is even happening by June, a Father's Day episode where some of the regular guests come on with their daddies.
Oh my God. Oh, I would have to be in Vancouver with my papa because he does not know what Zoom is. I would have to.
I'll tell you what, less inclined, at least technologically inclined fathers have been on the show, namely George Kiris, father of Dimitri Kiris, and Mike Asaf, father of Andy Asaf.
I was on that show and I remember that. And he asked, do you want to know when Andy got his first boner or something like that? Something
he was talking about his son's erections, I think pornography usage, things like that. Yeah.
Yes. See, I don't think my dad thinks I'm like, my dad knows I'm a mess. He stopped asking me like, oh, like, when will you find someone? He's just like, fuck, whatever, you do you. Like, I'm the one at the dinner table. Okay, let's be honest. I get the most ass in my family and I let all of them know it. Because they talk, they're all macho and they're talking like, bah, 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 like we're guys. And I'm like,
wait, hold on. Everyone's talking about this at the dinner table. They're talking about the ass they get.
My brothers, and then my dad just kind of like nods along, like, you guys got to be nice guys. You got to be good boys.
That sounds like something I would say.
And then I say, what about me? I fuck more than both of them. And then he gets upset. And then my mom is like, Racquel. And then it's over. No one cares.
And then your dad plugs his headphones into his phone and watches Papa Roach music videos so he doesn't have to listen to his kids talking about their sexual escapades.
Exactly. And then every now and then my dad will turn around and he will be like, you guys got to hear this song. You guys. And we're like, we heard it years ago.
Yeah, 20 years ago.
Video. Anyways, what were we talking about? I feel like I went on
this entire episode was about kind of recapping the first month of the year, how they think it's turned out for them. And I think we did it in a lot of ways, right?
Well, here's the thing. I said I was going to be good. Then I talked about how I brag to my family that I get more dick that I didn't mean to say that word. I get
once we said we went off the deep end.
Yeah, okay. But I think that I'm taking the right steps to change for this month, James.
Okay, so are we to say right now that February, which is less than 24 hours, and frankly it's only a couple hours away, is this going to be, Racquel, are you saying you're going to clean up your act on the program?
Let's just say I am trying to clean up my act in real life, and I hope it bleeds into the program. James, I became a mother over the weekend.
What?
A plant mother.
Oh.
I bought plants.
Okay.
What kind of badass girl who talks about facts all the time buys plants? It's unheard of. So now I'm going to turn into a plant person. Look what I even got. I got this shit. Liquid plant food. I went to the store.
Yeah, who are you?
Who am I? Look at these. Plant food spikes. You stick them in plants. They look like little joints.
Now, can I ask you, do you intend on naming your plant after a cast member of One Tree Hill?
The only name I would use, because it's the only name I remember, is Peyton. But you talked a big Gavin DeGraw.
Yeah. I don't want to be anything other than what I've been trying to be lately. Yeah, do you like that song, Racquel?
Oh, I know it.
Yeah. Are you a good singer?
No, I wish I was.
Now, are you saying that, or would people who know you go, no, Racquel is not a bad singer?
Out of my entire family, they're coming up a lot tonight. I'm the worst. Like, my brothers are actually, they're singers. One does like opera singing. The other one does like rock and roll.
Like Gavin DeGraw.
You know what? My brother is like Burnaby's Gavin DeGraw. Let's call him that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a title no one has ever had or wanted.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I've been saying this. I'm not a good singer. I like singing, but I'm not a good singer.
Racquel, why don't you sing a bit of the Gavin DeGraw song? Why don't you
just sang it with you?
Yeah, but hold on. We were doing it together. Now, why don't you give us a bit of Gavin DeGraw, I Don't Want to Be?
No, I'm so shy now. But do the fans want it? Because if the fans want it, I
Well,
mean, no, they
Raquel,
wanted
you're
to
a
see
fan,
my
you're a
ass
fan
last week.
favorite on this show, so of course I think they would.
Me, a
Yeah.
fan favorite? Don't
Mhm.
let me get that. Don't let that go straight to my head. Too late, it did. Oh, God, I hate myself. What are we up to? Like, what's up? What's new? What's happening?
Well, we're doing this show. You're
Yeah.
a guest on it. I'm hosting it. We're about 55 minutes deep, give or take a couple minutes. This is the thing. When the shows go long, it means James is having himself a night of fun.
I love that you're having a good time.
I am having a good time.
I love that. Cool. What do you need from me? Ask me anything.
I think as we begin to round this out, I think we got to hear a bit of this Gavin DeGraw. I don't want to be.
No, I sang it though. I sang it with you.
Okay, so what about this? If you don't do it now, how about we give ourselves a week to prep and you come back on, you sing some of that song for us?
James, it's like
Look,
we have the same brain.
I sang a bit of it.
I think we should have a show, not only where we talk like babies, where it's just karaoke, like we all come with our own song.
Okay, so a karaoke. There's a lot of shows.
Only Gavin DeGraw songs.
Oh, well, he has other songs?
Yes, there's one that I recently downloaded that I had completely forgot about. They used to play it when I worked at Sears. It's called Not Over You.
Okay, well, I'm gonna look into that after the show.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so Raquel, you're making the commitment now that by next, again, we got coming in the chat right now. Please, Raquel.
Wow. Next week, tune in. Raquel is gonna blow your socks off. Is that the blow your pants off? Blow your socks
it's
off?
either blow your pants off, I think is again more sexually suggestive. And hopefully if you do blow people's pants off, they have clean underwear on.
Yeah, what's this business? People not changing their underwear. What's this business?
Contrary to popular belief, I change mine. And I'll tell you what, there ain't no unit slapping no legs around these parts.
That's okay. Maybe one day.
Maybe one day. Yeah. Maybe.
One day.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, who's to say? But how often do you change your underwear? Every day?
Maybe every other day.
Nice. Yeah.
See, Raquel, you understand.
I get it.
Well, Raquel, we were here to recap your January, and we kind of did it. You're a mother to some plants now, so that's cool.
Yep. I'm less of a mess than I was last week. Mm-hmm. I think we can all agree. I have plants. I've already ignored all of my Planta. Planta's the app I pay for. I pay money for it. I've already ignored all my notifications.
Are you worried that you're going to give up on this plant at some point?
No, I'm not worried. I know I'm going to. It's like I've set myself up for something that I already know is going to not be good.
Look, at least you're living in
I'm
your
laughing
truest
and I'm loving.
You're living, laughing, and loving in your truest reality. Well, Raquel, look, this 2 weeks in a row, 2 home runs, you and me.
I love that. James, let's do it again next week.
I would love nothing more, Raquel.
That's amazing. Hey, thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here, Raquel.
Bye, James. That didn't sound good in a baby voice. Let's do a different one.
Bye, sweet dreams.
Goodbye, little James. I'll see you next week.
Take care.
Bye.
That's Racquel Belmonte. And I'm disgusted with myself. I'm truly and utterly disgusted. But you know what I always say? I don't want to be anything other than what I've been trying to be lately. I'm better looking than Gavin DeGraw. Let's welcome our final guest tonight. Now, again, it's been in the news. It's been all over the social media outlets and platforms. It's a freedom convoy. Now, we're not going to shy away from the tough topics here. We're not going to live in this false reality where the real stuff doesn't happen. That's why we found a guest who was there. We're going right to the horse's mouth. It's the ice road trucker who has been on the show a multitude of times. Thomas Barnwell in the chat is saying that it's a unit slapping good time on At Home with James tonight. I couldn't agree more. And that's why we're going to wrap things up with another unit slapper of himself. Please welcome the ice road trucker, Randy McWayne. Randy, it's good to see you again.
Hey, James, how's it going?
Now, Randy, I was talking about rock
Randy
and roll
McWayne
music.
here.
Randy McWayne is here. I was talking about rock and roll music. What are some of your favorite, trucking songs?
Oh, I love the One Tree Hill soundtrack.
Wait, you have the full soundtrack?
I got the soundtrack on CD, ROM.
CD-ROM?
CD-ROM.
All right. What's your favorite track off of that compilation?
Why is the title track, James?
Oh, the Gavin DeGraw song, I Don't Want to Be?
I don't want to be anything other than what I've been trying to be lately.
It sounds like you make it a little bit more death metal-ish.
Well, I got, he plays a few versions. If you let there's a secret track at the end of it.
Okay, so there's kind of a harder version of the because my version was I don't want to be anything other than what I've been trying to be lately. And your version is
I don't want to be anything other than what I was trying to be lately.
Oh, you're throwing up the horns. Well, it's good to talk to you again, Randy. Again, you're back on the icy roads, the Canadian highways and byways. How's the cargo been treating you these days?
Well, it's good. If you remember my last time here, it wasn't so icy outside, so my truck was stuck. But now that it's nice and cool,
you're stuck in mud.
I was stuck in the mud, Puddle of Mud, another great band. But now that it's cooler out there, I can finally get cruising down those ice roads.
Now, what?
What's going on?
No, I'm just thinking about something funny.
She fucking hates me.
Yeah, Puddle of Mud.
Yeah. I got that CD-ROM too.
you got Puddle of Mud?
Yeah, I bought it a couple of truck years ago.
Oh, it's true, yeah, because you operate in truck years, which is kind of like the equivalent of there's dog years, cat years, and truck years.
There's dog years, cat years, truck years.
Now, what's your current cargo?
I'm hauling more vaccine, hauling the boosters.
Okay, so that was what I was going to ask. Last time you were here, you've got a cargo load full of boosters. Now, these aren't just, needles.
Well, last time I had the OG shots.
Yeah, you had the OG shots that you administer from the same syringe.
Yeah, so I got a concoction of Moderna, Pfizer, even AstraZeneca I got back there.
You're still doing the AZ.
Yeah, I'm one of the only guys. If you want the AstraZeneca, look me up.
Got any J&J in there?
I ran out of J&J just recently.
Okay, so now this is going to be what people are curious about. Now, most of the people at the convoy, they were there to fight mandates, but you've been delivering and administering the vaccine. So I'm curious to know what brought you to the convoy in Ottawa.
Well, there's a lot of variety of people who are on this truckers route.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are all sorts of people.
Some a little bit more nefarious than the others.
Mm-hmm.
But, I was a bit sort of torn because I'm known in the community now for hauling the vaccine across Canada.
Now, can I ask you, does that kind of make you, because not every trucker is against what's going on and not every trucker's for it. To the people that are against it, does that make you sort of a black sheep to them?
As long as I don't force it on them.
Okay.
I think. I kind of stay away from, there's a few guys who I stay away from.
Okay, so a couple tough customers.
Some
road warriors.
Yeah, some people who fucking hate me.
Couple highway hellraisers.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so you now what are you drinking beer there on your break?
Yeah, I'm having a beer.
Well, aren't you driving a truck?
No, I'm not driving. I'm outside the truck. I'm not driving.
But I mean, are you going to get back in to drive?
I don't drink and drive, James.
All right.
I'm not driving right now.
Okay, I understand. So you were in Ottawa. What was your purpose for going?
Well, it's been a bit of a crazy year so far.
Yeah, we're 31 days in. It's been crazy. You're right.
Government's cracking down on our freedoms.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so if I understand correctly, then you were there to support the fighting of the mandates. You're there because they're cracking down on freedoms.
Not the vaccine mandate.
Okay. So not so probably the masks then.
No, I'll wear a mask inside. I don't care. What's the big deal? Who cares?
Okay, so I guess. Okay, so the closure of things, bars, restaurants,
That's
events.
It. Closure of things.
Okay.
As you know, James, I'm a fan of this nation's fine glory holes. From all the way out west to all the way out east, this nation has some of the most free holes that any country has ever laid eyes upon.
Okay, so I think I understand correctly. You were in Ottawa not to fight vaccine mandates, not to fight mask mandates, not to fight venue or restaurant or bar mandates. You were there to protest against glory hole mandates.
Glory hole mandates, James. Look,
yeah, I was gonna say I wasn't aware that there were any mandates, but again, I'm not a trucker, and you've been here before. You talked about the importance of glory holes to truckers.
Exactly, it's one of it's amongst the trucker community. It's a poorly kept secret that we love glory holes. Sometimes after a long day of trucking, 16 hours, 18 hours, sometimes 22 hours, you need a good way to unwind and a good place. Or get your dick sucked.
Is a glory hole.
Yeah.
All right. So you're saying that government mandates have cracked down on the glory holes?
Two soldiers passing through the night meet up. Star-crossed lovers.
Soldiers?
Like two soldiers passing through the night. They meet up and they rendezvous at a location. And the only thing that connects them is a small hole in a bathroom stall.
Okay, so again, I'm going to say one more time. The government has mandated rules on glory holes?
Well, not officially.
Oh, okay, so this is starting to make more sense. Go on, please.
But unofficially, they closed, first they closed restaurants. And if I could pull up a pie chart right now, but about 22% of glory holes are in restaurant bathrooms.
You're saying that restaurants have glory holes? 22% of restaurants across this country feature glory hole? What type of restaurants are we talking about
here? You ever
here?
been to Weinstein and Gavino's?
In Montreal? Isn't that an upscale restaurant?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I have not been to
East Side Mario's.
Well, East Side Mario's is considerably less classy than Weinstein and Gavino's.
You got your.
It sounds like a lot of Italian restaurants.
Yeah, it's a lot of Italian restaurants. You got your Sparrows.
Okay, so yeah, not Italian.
It's Italian enough.
Sparrow is Italian?
They serve pizza, no?
I don't believe Sparrow, sir. You might be confusing it with an Italian restaurant.
I'm thinking of Sparrow.
Oh, you're thinking of Sparrow?
Yeah.
The pizza parlor, not Sparrow, Sbarro.
Yeah.
Not Sparrow, Sbraao.
Yeah, that's the one. Olive Garden.
Okay, so it sounds like these are specifically the 22%.
Sometimes I go there and I order the unlimited breadsticks, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think I know what you're either talking about, breadsticks or oral sex.
Yeah.
So you're saying that the 22%
garlic dipping sauce.
Oh, the 22% of restaurants that feature glory holes are all Italian restaurants?
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, they've because of all the sort of amalgamation of all the mandates combined, a lot of my favorite spots have shut down.
Okay, well, you said a lot of bathrooms. We also talked about venues. What venues have glory holes?
Heavy metal venues.
Okay.
Like, what's that one called? I'll think of it. We'll get back to it.
All right, well, just take a second. Just think about it. There's no rush.
Think about it. All right. It's on the Sunset Strip.
The Viper Room?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, where River Phoenix, tragically passed away in front of it.
You know why it's called the Viper Room, James?
Why is that?
I don't know. I'm asking.
Oh, so I see. I thought you were gonna have there's gonna be a segue to something, phallic.
No. I was just curious.
Well, okay. So how long has it been since you've enjoyed a glory hole?
Oh man, 3 weeks.
That's it?
Yeah, it's a bummer, man.
So you drove your truck full of vaccine liquid to Ottawa because you've been without a glory hole for 3 weeks?
That's right.
Well, okay, so what happened when you got there? Did you fit in with the crowd?
I had my truck to camouflage me. And, I found out that there's not a huge amount of us, James. But there's a...
Now that surprises me.
I know. You would think people would care about their freedoms.
Okay, so can I ask you, did you find any other hole hunters?
Oh, absolutely. Found a couple of guys. Found Easy Pete.
Okay.
I
Who else?
found Darius. Sleazy Darius.
Sleep. Sounds similar to a guy I know.
Yeah. And this guy Kevin. And this guy Justin.
Okay.
This guy Justin
What's that now?
Trudeau.
Hold on. I don't know if this is appropriate to talk about. This is a pretty shocking claim. You're saying the prime minister of the country is a fellow hole hunter.
He's a hole hunter.
Okay, now
You heard it here first. It got I'm leaking the news.
okay. So look,
Just like
this
the
is-
balloons that that lady talked about earlier.
Okay, so you're saying that the prime minister enjoys a well. So if that's true, then he's sacrificing his own pleasures for the betterment of everyone.
That's the thing, James. When he sneaks off from Parliament, goes hole hunting. He doesn't play by the rules the rest of us have to follow.
Coming in from the chat right now from Prisma Lumina, quote, that's how he got COVID.
That's true.
Oh, so you're also breaking that news and confirming it?
I'm breaking that news. I got the inside scoop on that story.
Now, High Score Run, another legendary viewer of this show, wants to know if there's a secret hole hunter handshake.
Of course there is.
Well, now, would you care to show this? I mean, you've already exposed Justin Trudeau.
You don't ask a magician to reveal his tricks.
Well, no, they just do it on a Fox TV special.
What do you mean?
Remember that show, Secrets of Magic Reveal?
Oh yeah, that was a great show. I watch it in the back of my truck sometimes.
Okay, well,
Check this out. Wait, no, I'm doing it wrong. I'm doing it wrong.
I think you had it right. Yeah.
Did I?
No, that is wrong. I think you had a backwards thumb.
I'm revealing it.
Look, here's the thing. I think you're getting this messed up because you need to find a glory hole. You're all out of sorts.
I'm all backed up. It's up in my brain.
Okay, so you're telling me while you were at the convoy, there was no one, offering information on where they might be able to enjoy themselves?
Oh, well, we set up an outdoor glory hole.
Oh,
But it was so cold, James.
yeah. It was felt like minus 30.
But we made like a little protest nook.
Okay, so you've been able to, I guess, and I really hesitate to say this, you've been able to unclog the drain.
No, well, this was I didn't get a chance to use it before we were shut down by the RCMP.
Well, it seems like everything else was allowed to have happened there, but you're saying that they shut your traveling glory hole
We're
down?
the only ones who got shut down.
Wow. You must be steaming angry right now.
Oh, I'm steaming. Steaming out of the ears.
Now, what's your next move, Randy?
I'm giving up.
You're just giving up altogether? You're giving up the glory holes?
Well, no, I'm going to wait till the pandemic's sort of subsided. I'm looking at the numbers. They're looking pretty good right now.
Okay, now, well, I have an idea. Look, I hesitate because I think this might be a really lucrative idea, but I think there's something that we can do to at least, support you during these trying times.
Sure, yeah. What do you got?
Now, what if we were to set up maybe like a Patreon for you with different levels where people could, subscribe and join, and the highest level you get a t-shirt, very basic shirt, maybe white or black with either white or black font, your choice. It says, "I'm a hole hunter."
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's only one tier. I feel like I need a few tiers for the Patreon.
Oh, okay, so maybe the first tier is you get like a bumper sticker for your car.
Bumper sticker, t-shirt. Maybe we send you a bathroom stall.
Oh, yeah, that's the highest. So how much would people have to donate to get that bathroom stall?
If you donate $2,000 a month, you can get a bathroom stall.
All right, so this sounds like, we're making the best out of it.
And I'll deliver it in my truck.
Oh, so you're going to throw it in with all the vaccine liquid?
Yeah, I'll have it sloshing around back there.
Well, Randy, look, man, I got to tell you, I'm really sad to hear that things have been as dire as they have been. But, as they say in Quebec, ça va bien aller.
Oh, yeah. Well, I got that on my license plate.
Oh, okay. That's your custom plate, ça va bien aller?
Yeah, that's my custom plate. It's a lot of
vanity
letters. Yeah, it's a vanity plate. It says "Je me souviens" and "Ça va bien aller."
All right. Well, look, any final words, Randy, before we call it a night?
Look, this nation was built on a foundation of maple syrup and freedom.
Mm-hmm.
And if we give up half the foundation, then what happens?
It's just maple syrup.
It tilts.
Well, Randy, I want to thank you so much for being here, and good luck with the rest of your trials, tribulations, and travels.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, the pleasure's all mine. Why don't you come back someday soon?
I'd love to.
All right. Well, how about next week?
Yeah, all right.
All right, cool. Randy, thanks so much.
I don't want to be anything other than what I've been trying to be lately.
That's Randy McWayne. That's what we call in the comedy world a bit of a bookend with that. Here, when I started this show in 2020, did you think I'd be singing Gavin DeGraw on this show? And did you think it would play such a present and focal point throughout all three segments? I didn't think so. Folks, that's our show tonight. I want to thank Sarah, Racquel, and Randy McWayne for being here. We'll be back on Wednesday, 9 p.m. Who's going to be here? Andy Asaf. This Friday, who's going to be here? Connor Rose, who will be responding to Mark Rowland's challenge for a slam poetry competition. So stay tuned for that. Until then, thank you so much for watching. I'm James. You are you. We were here. Good night, goodbye, farewell, and of course, be well.